Hello and welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith and today we are going to be covering the Mansions of Madness 2nd edition expansions. So these are expansions to the base game of the 2nd edition. Now, what are these expansions? Well, there is 2 of them that are basically, from what I understand, not knowing too much about Mansions of Madness and how they intertwine just yet, but my understanding is not only the base game that you saw in a previous unboxing, but this box right here in front of you called Reoccurring Nightmares is a expansion that essentially brings the 2nd edition up to the 1st edition in terms of tiles and extra miniatures. So really the purpose is so that when you purchase the 2nd edition as of right now, you don't actually have as much content as the 1st edition had. So what's happening is you're kind of catching up. This figure and tile collection is really getting you to the point of ensuring that those of you that didn't play the 1st edition and didn't buy the content for that one, this gets you caught up to speed. So again, I can't comment on what's needed and what's not needed, but I do know that within the app itself for Mansions of Madness, you can actually unlock content within the app itself that will show you what, for example, you can enable when you purchase things. So for instance, you go in the app and you can say, I have the base game, I have Reoccurring Nightmares. You can unlock that content. What that does is unlock or allow you to use scenarios or different scenarios in the game. And I don't know how many come with this one. I think it's 1 or 2, but I'll have to double check and we'll see, I guess, once we crack it open. So that was the main intent, at least as of right now. So let's get into that right away. So I've gone ahead and I grabbed myself a knife. So I'm going to get into this and we're going to take a look. So the first thing we're going to do here is take a look at the box itself. So this is, again, Mansions of Madness. It's a Recurring Nightmares figure and tile collection. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to cut into this. But first we'll just take a look at the back of the box. I don't know if you guys can see this well. It's not too bad on the camera. So essentially what it is, and I'll zoom in on it so you guys can actually see it even better. But the back of the box has a bunch of text that talks about the return to old haunts. So essentially what's happening here is you've got a box of stuff that includes new miniatures and as well as tiles. So what it says here in the bottom is it says this includes plastic figures and tiles from Mansions of Madness 1st edition. So again, this is stuff that was in the 1st edition and it's just for those people that need this content because they either haven't already purchased the 1st edition, don't already have these particular miniatures. If you do, you'd skip completely over this expansion. This is really for people jumping on board that are brand new, like me, for instance. I've never played this and I don't own the 1st edition of anything for Mansions of Madness, so this is perfect for me. It also, of course, requires Mansions of Madness 2nd edition to play. Well, that's pretty standard. It says it comes with 1 rule sheet, 15 map tiles, 8 investigators, so that's pretty cool. Bolsters the amount of investigators in the game, I like that. And 18 plastic figures and bases. So very, very cool. I don't know what to expect, but we'll go ahead, crack this thing open. So let me just bring this back a little bit because as of right now, you guys are quite far away from the action, or too close to the action maybe. So we're going to crack this open. I'll use my trusty IKEA knife and we'll slice this open and pop the top off. I have no idea what's in here. I don't even know what to expect. So, okay, cool. We've got, so interesting. So we got kind of a centerpiece here of a ton of bases. So essentially this is similar to what you would have seen in the first unboxing where we had all those bases, and this will give you a better idea as to what it looks like retail, because my first unboxing of the base game I'd purchased used, and that individual had who's part of this channel who actually had already put the cardboard cutout informations into these slots. So this is going to show you kind of what it looks like when it comes from Fantasy Flight the first time. You'll just get a bag of bases essentially, and then you also of course get a bag of miniatures. So this is going to be a whole bunch of miniatures that you can attach to those bases, probably a mix from what I understand of investigators as well as monsters. So this is pretty cool and probably worth opening up. So here's one, for instance. Oh my gosh, that guy looks so disgustingly ugly. So we got this gigantic beetle looking thing which looks terrible. So that's a pleasant creature. So that's one thing that you can probably encounter in the mansion. You've got this guy here. Holy, this actually reminds me. I saw this creature. The first time I saw this was in Shadows of Brimstone. It's some type of worm. I forget the name of it at the moment, but a nasty one for sure. So it looks like there's a few of those, and then some really creepy looking. I don't even know what the heck that is. Oh my gosh. It's some type of flying wasp thing with a brain being pulled out of a human skull. So again, really pleasant. And that's what this whole game is about. It's a horror themed game. So for those of you that are unsettled by things like that, I apologize. But the game's, this is all horror based stuff. And to be honest, I love it. I think it's like, there's a comedic side to it that's very shallow. Like there's not much comedy in it. But I think from what I heard, the game does a good job of not taking itself too seriously, so it's not over the top. But again, just some more of these really cool miniatures, and this is interesting. Looks like some type of weird, I don't even know. It looks like a dragon worm. Like obviously the names will be on these cardboard punch-outs, and then you've got a whole handful of guys. Now I'm not going to know which ones here are investigators, but it looks like you've got what could be a bunch of zombies. There's obviously investigators, there's 8 of them buried in here somewhere. That's obviously a cultist. This guy probably looks like the maniac would be my guess. Yeah, so these guys all look bad. So this actually doesn't look like any of the investigators. I think these are all the bad enemies. So we'll put them aside and I'll see if there's anything further. Aha, look at this. There's another bag. So here we go. So you get 8 extra investigators. This is really cool because I think, like, you know, if you're going to get yourself an expansion, especially if you're catching up on the first edition, because this is really, again, like I said, it's giving the people that are new into the Dimensions of Madness the ability to catch up to those who already own these tiles and figures from the first set. But the really cool is having this replayability to be able to pick different characters, like 8 characters in one box is pretty cool. That's going to give you a whole bunch of different variation in the people you choose to use as you go through the mansion, so that you don't feel like you're using the same people every single time. So of course I don't have anything but my hand here to show you guys these models up close, so I'll do my best. But here we go. There is your 8 heroes essentially. I don't have a clue as to which one's which, but I should know these guys because through Eldritch and Arkham and all the rest, they are reoccurring characters in the mythos that appear, and so I'm sure they're fulfilling a handful of those names that we're all too familiar with. Some of you guys may know them off by heart, but I'm not going to look at them too detailed enough to tell you which one's which just yet, because we're really just doing an unboxing in this video. So what else is in this box? Well, we've covered everything except for the tiles. So now at this point, we've just come down to the tiles, and it looks like there might be, ooh, that's kind of cool. There's a reference sheet buried in here. So the reoccurring nightmares, components, the credits, that type of thing, how to use the expansion. So it just kind of lets you know what it provides, the components originally found in the mansion. So this is explaining essentially what I had explained to you. So if you don't understand, you can take a look, pause the screen to read that. Figure setup. So again, what I had done from the base game, this was already done for me because of base game in the prior unboxing for Mansions of Madness I did. These things were in there when you saw that video, whereas right now you saw the bases on their own. So there's obviously punch outs in here, probably buried in the middle. Oh wow, this thing's huge. So you get some really big tiles with this. Like, this is a massive tile, so that's really cool. There's also some small ones too. So I guess there's no harm in opening these up for you guys, seeing as you probably want to see what it's all about. So let's crack these things open and take a look at what type of stuff you're going to get tile-wise. Get off me, come on. All right, there we go. So here's one. Now these might start popping out on their own, but this is one gigantic tile. Crazy, very, very cool. Oh, that's nice. So the inside of a mansion kind of corridor. That's pretty cool, I like that. This is like a backyard scene, and then you've got kind of like an underground cave. The artwork in this is phenomenal. I love it already. The coat room, the gallery, the hallway. That's awesome. I don't know why I held off so long on picking these up. I think these are going to be incredible. A chasm here, a patio kind of set up with a root cellar up here in the corner. Again, some really, really nice art. bathrooms. You got like a corner hallway, another corner hallway, another hallway. This is gonna really, I think, add a lot of changes to some of these scenarios. Got a furnace room here, a front porch area, a front path. Very, very cool. You got basement stairs. You got a crypt. Wow, crypt, that's cool. Basement storage, basement landing. Jeez, there's a lot here. I'm actually kind of surprised how many tile sets there are in this expansion. Graveyard, like a whole graveyard scene. The street passage. Looks like an underground street passage. Maybe you can get behind something there. Oh, I guess I should be flipping. I don't know if did I flip this one over? No, I didn't. I didn't flip this one over. Sorry, guys. So here's on the back side of this other one. The hallway there. Looks like some tower stairs, some attic storage in the corner there. And then the tower room. Wow, really cool. Kitchen storage, dining room, guest bedroom. Just craziness. And there's more. Entryway, huge. This is a bigger tile. Another cave. Flip this over. We've got a study. We've got ourselves a hallway. We've got ourselves a library. This is a lot of stuff. This is going to really change this up, I think. Attic loft. So I can tell you guys, like, just based on how many tiles there are that I'm seeing here in this particular, there's we got for sheets wise, this is 2, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a pretty good amount of extra content there. That's pretty impressive. And when you think that you've got 8 sheets here, and there's probably about 2, so most of these are probably 2 to 3 a tile, you're adding quite a bit of variance to your game. That's pretty impressive. So I think this is going to be really cool. This seems like a really worthwhile expansion for somebody who doesn't have any of the first edition stuff. So I mean, I can't recommend anything just yet because I haven't actually gone ahead to include this in any of the scenarios, particularly on the app. But I will show you one thing before I end this particular video, because I thought originally I was going to cram as many expansion unboxings into one video as I thought, but I'm going to split them up. So this one will be the Reoccurring Nightmares one. But I am going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the Mansions of Madness app. So this is the app itself, and this is essentially what it looks like when you open up the game. So that's pretty, oh shoot. Yeah, so like when you open up a game of Mansions of Madness, you got yourself like actual music, sound, everything. So you can go to more, you go to your collection, and then from here you can see things like Mansions of Madness 2nd edition versus 1st. So you go to the 2nd edition, and here you can see Reoccurring Nightmares. So you can click on that, and then you just simply enable it, and now you've enabled all the content into the game. When you go back, now you've got 2 greens on. So as we go through these unboxings, I'm going to show you as we enable all this stuff. Now I can tell you first off, when I first play this, I am absolutely, definitely not going to be 100%. I'm not going to be mixing all the expansions in for the first playthrough, because it will just confuse the heck out of me. I won't know what's going on. There'll be so much going on. It probably will be overkill. So for this Reoccurring Nightmares one, like all these boxes here, I'm going to end up waiting until I get a grasp of the base game first. But I'm going to be playing that through on my channel with you guys. And I'm sure there's a number of you that have played this before. So maybe as we go along, you guys can help me out, make decisions. And also at the same time, maybe for those of you who have never seen this game before, or maybe it's, because the thing is too, is it's more of one of the more expensive games. It's not cheap because it's a miniature-based game, and we all know in this day and age with board games, anything with a decent amount of miniatures comes a decent price tag. So maybe not everyone has the funds available at the current time to pick games like this up. So if you're one of those people, then this is maybe your way of enjoying it without having to throw the money out the window. So, I mean, hopefully there's some value there for you guys. And then maybe, if anything, it helps you make a purchasing decision later on. So that's essentially the purpose of these unboxings, is to give you guys an idea of what you'll get. And also just, you make your own decisions at the end of the day as to how you want to spend your money. So just like I did. So I decided to go ahead and spend my money, and I think I made a good purchase here. I was not underwhelmed by what I pulled out of this box. I think I'm pretty happy with it. So I won't know too much until I incorporate this in to see how much value there is, but I like it so far. So anyway, that's essentially it. That was the unboxing of Mansions of Madness, the Reoccurring Nightmares expansion. Again, an expansion that gets you kind of caught up to the first edition level in terms of tiles and miniatures. So hopefully this helped you guys. I will be doing an unboxing and a following video or a follow-up video here for the next one, which is I think there's one other box called the Suppressed Memories. So another box just like this size, that says Suppressed Memories, and it's also the final edition that you need in order to catch yourself up to the first edition in terms of tiles and miniatures. So I'll be doing that as another video unboxing for you guys so you can see what's inside of that one. And then following that video, we're going to do the newest expansion, which is actually the very first legitimate expansion for the second edition in terms of new content that was not seen in the prior first edition, and that one is called Beyond the Threshold. And I'll be doing that here as well, showing you kind of what's included in that expansion. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope this was helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you've seen, and I will be sure to be playing this in the future here when I get the rules wrapped around my head. So until the next video, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on rolling solo.